Hi everybody, this is Dr. Rebecca. Today I want to talk a little bit about feelings of anger and powerlessness and how to use the teachings of Chinese medicine to turn them from hindrances into tools for creative movement. Now, it is springtime right now, and in Chinese medicine, spring is the season of the wood element. And the wood element is all about moving forward. And it's about the little sprouts underneath the ground that are moving from the darkness under the soil up towards the light. It's about moving towards the light. But it is also about that frustration and that anger that comes from wanting to move in a particular direction but not being able to. And this is also a time, so this is sort of up seasonally, but also for many of us right now, nothing is going according to our plans. And that can bring up a lot of feelings and a lot of emotions, and it can feel really muddy and it can feel really hard to move through them. So in this video today, I'm going to talk just about the first step. And the first step is really sort of simple, and it's just to feel those emotions, to really feel them and really give them voice. And it's sort of like having a temper tantrum, really. I watch my small children have a temper tantrum when things don't go their way. And they stomp and they scream and they run around. And, when they're really in a temper tantrum, my job as the adult is just to really stand in the love and hold them in love, even if I can't hold them physically because they're in such a state, but to hold that love until they're done. And once they've gotten that out of their system, kids are amazing at this. They get this craziness out of their system, this frustration, this anger, this disappointment, and then they're able to move on and come up with creative solutions. Kids are very creative. So, in this situation, you really sort of have to be your own parent. You have to let that part of you that needs to rant and rave and have a tantrum, and keep that other sort of inner adult part of yourself just, holding the love and holding the space for it. So, what I really encourage you to do is to have a tantrum and run around. If you can be outside, I think it really helps. You can yell at the trees, they don't care. You can stomp around. Today, when I was feeling these types of feelings of anger and frustration and powerlessness at changing things, I ran around this yard back and forth with my kids. Actually, we made sort of like grumpy, frustrated faces and stomped around, and we had fun with it. It was pretty goofy, but it also let out a lot of frustration. And then once you do, and once you really give yourself space to let that out, the next step is to, sit in the peace and the calmness that comes after that and let the creativity flow. And, people do this different ways. My favorite way is to journal and just to write or type without stopping, without letting my hands leave the keyboard or without letting my pen stop, not self-editing, just writing out any kind of crazy solution that comes and going back and looking at it later. So that's sort of the first step of transforming anger, powerlessness, frustration into forward motion. And I'm going to do some more videos on the wood element to sort of talk about next steps and other ways that we can work with this spring energy to transform our lives in meaningful and powerful ways. So if you're watching this video, I really would love to hear how this goes for you, what type of ridiculous tantrum that you did. Just write it in the comments below. I hope this was helpful. Here's to you and your health.